TV. I'm sure there's more like really lame commercial brainwashing shit on them old zombie shows. And my friend, the Leak, tried to warn me about the zombies. So, well, yeah, things are pretty weird for Jackie. But I digress. Now, one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was bass music. 'Cause I love bass music. In a way, there's nothing much a lot of you can say about bass music. I bought some Bitcoin. I invest in cryptocurrencies like IOTA, tron. I really like those two, and they're both real coins now. I like some BNB and things like that. I really liked it because I got to learn a lot while I was learning how to buy it, sell it, trade it, things like that. Blockchain's a beautiful thing. I would much rather have blockchain doing things than someone in their fancy algorithm. See, I used to program. I've been programming since like '92. I worked on C++ quite a bit. Made a lot of cool graphics. I love VGA card interface. I loved processing, heat for monitors and things like that. And it was really great. It's just one more of those things, And blockchain's really a good way to keep track of things without having anybody's hands on it. Bitcoin itself is a public ledger and open source. Well, see, I come from a school of programmers that tried to tell people that passwords were useless. If you send anything over the internet, that it was absolutely always going to be always somewhere else. Two, the passwords are like kind of a false sense of security. Seeds are pretty neat. You get a Bitcoin, you get a seed. That's a little bit more secure than a password, but it's basically the same thing. You just have to keep control over it responsibly, because if it's worth something, if it's worth a significant amount of money, then you should take good care of it. So I like IOTA, I like nodes. They came together, the nodes come together pretty naturally. People just seem to acknowledge and trust one another pretty well. The wallets are great. I just suggested you got a lot of stuff to do on your own processor with that one. As far as like being operable for like any and all blockchain interaction and value exchange, I would say Tronics is pretty nice. But we're learning more about it all the time. I mean, nobody can come up with everything the first. It's a little more bass music. Ooh, spooky. Because people are freaks. There's something wrong with people. So we talk about virtue and value. We talk about virtue and value, and why I do things like Bible roulette, stuff like that, because the ideas about virtue and value are very old. And virtue becomes a value. They put it into practice consistently, and it yields result. It's not just out of nowhere. And because a lot of times, a lot of people are really distressed by this sort of quest for immorality, the race to the bottom, just how terrible people can possibly be, and they find out, like beyond their imagination. There are horrible things happening, probably as we speak, in real life that if you could imagine, you would make really lousy company. No, I'm just kidding. You can think whatever you want. But yeah, someone do some roulette and just say, anybody's value system deserves respect because it yields result. I mean, they may not always offer hard scientific labs, Western Eurocentric proof of something. I don't know. For the most part, academia is ridiculous, but they may not offer you your qualifications for proof. But there's a reason people do things a certain way, and it's not usually not because it messes things up. It's usually because you'll work better, you produce a better crop, you have healthier babies, you have better meals, you live longer, and one of the the different standards for those things, a lot of them come through in books of power and in books of like the Bible. The Bible's got a lot of history like that in it, and it kind of explains how, all throughout time people have known better than a lot of things, and the people are into now. It's hard to explain to some of my friends that have been targeted, like what they're seeing, and how really insidious that the campaign that's against us is. It's there's no limit to how low they'll go. For the people who know better, it's fun for me, but I never expected it to be like so and so's problem. Let's see. I don't know. Definitely New Testament style. We're gonna go on Luke. He told them a parable. Can a blind man lead a blind man? Will they not both fall into a pit? A disciple is not above his teacher, but everyone, when he is fully taught, will be like his teacher. Why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own? How can you say to your brother, Brother, let me take out the speck that is in your eye, when you yourself do not see the log that is in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take out the speck that is in your brother's eye. For no good tree bears bad fruit, nor again does a bad tree bear good fruit. For each tree is known by its own fruit. For figs are not gathered from thorns, nor are grapes picked from a bramble bush. The good man out of the good treasure of his heart produces good, and the evil man out of his evil treasure produces evil. For out of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaks. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do what I tell you? Everyone who comes to me and hears my words and does them, I will show you what he is like. He is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid the foundation upon a rock. And when a flood arose, the stream broke against that house and could not shake it, because it had been well built. But he who hears and does not do them, like a man who built a house on the ground without a foundation, against which the stream broke, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. That's great. It's really for me. So I just like to thank God for that verse this evening, because it once again has timeliness, resonates with me, and I read it to myself in a good frequency that's, you see my intent. I guess I see my own intent with it. It's just to comfort people and to help people, because these are troubling times. When you crown yourself, you crown the beast. I don't know what to tell you beyond that this evening. If I'm if I'm really going to be able to survive this, I must say aloud that when you crown yourself, you crown the beast. Um, it's under thought, and then every action that follows is well and misplaced. Because these are the terms of consequences of real things in real life. A lot of us are doing everything that we can and struggling with very little. It's too bad, but it's really spooky because I don't know. Think about it. I mean, I've been dealing with domestic and foreign surveillance and things that are so insanely fucking crazy since I was a little kid. Like things that I wouldn't I still can't talk about. Things that and there was but I've been undermined, so why would you even believe me, right? It would sound like I was crazy, right? You wouldn't believe me. But anyway, I love you guys, everybody who knows what I'm talking about from whatever perspective you have for, the surveillance, the mind control, the how do I just don't want to be apologetic about it because it's not my fault really, but the demons, the hell it brought, the hell it brought with it. But I don't know. I give it all to God. I do. I really do. And that's how I gain acceptance is I give those things to God no matter how terrible it is, no matter what it is. I give it to God. It's His. And when I do, it becomes holy, and I'm okay. Things that aren't holy and that you don't keep well, that they can be tainted and they can be contaminated. If you don't keep the kosher meal, then you may find yourself sick at the hands of your own filthy blade, if you don't do it like you're supposed to, it probably won't work out the way it's supposed to. I love you guys, yeah. Have a good night.